Okay, welcome back to another video. Right, today we have a VW Passat, non-start, crank, no start. I've got a glow plug light flashing, and if I go to crank it, so put my foot on the clutch, listen to the engine, she won't pick up. Okay, put the ignition back on. Okay, so it's a crank, no start. If we go to VCDS and I bring up the fault codes, I have fan 1 control circuit. Well, that's because the garage has unplugged the fan because the fan is running all the time, so I'm not interested with that. I'm showing supply voltage, fuel for fuel injector group A. I've checked the injectors, nothing wrong with it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go back. So, is it the ECU? Is it the injector, or is it the wiring? Now this is why we use ECUs with an immo off. So what I've done is I've got to the ECU. Now look at the state of this. Look at the state of that ECU. I mean, come on VW, you know, what a stupid place to put an ECU. They're terrible for it. Right, so I'd say that ECU's got water damage, but how are we going to make sure that it is in fact the ECU that's causing the problem? So at the moment we've got a crank no start. So I have one of my ECUs, one of my test units, PCR 2.1. okay, it's the completely wrong part number. So if we turn it over, all right, so it'll be no good as a replacement. The replacement must be exactly the same part number. Okay, but you can see, look at the water. Right, so completely the wrong part number, but this one I have made an immo off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap them over and I'll get back to you. So now we have the old unit off and the immo off unit on. Okay, so what we're going to do is go back to the vehicle. You won't be able to change the coding on it because it's a completely different part number. It's a different class as well. So what I'm going to do is just going to turn the ignition off. Okay, I'm going to turn the ignition back on. Right, so immediately now you'll see the glow plug light's gone out. If I put my foot on the clutch and crank her over, she starts and runs. Okay, now if we get into VCDS, just click on VCDS and go select engine. What we're looking for is anything to do with injectors. So throttle position switch, yeah, I mean 10 faults. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm just going to turn the ignition off. Okay, I'm just going to turn the ignition back on again. I'm going to clear the codes because obviously a lot of these codes are from the old vehicle. Okay, no fault codes, done. Okay, I'm going to put our foot on the clutch. I'm going to start her up again. Starts, first turn, first push of the button. Okay. Now obviously throttle positions haven't been learned and all this nonsense, but she is a runner. So function restriction due to faults in other modules. That's it. Nothing to do with injectors, nothing to do with the fan. Okay, now I know that the coding is different. Like I said, completely different ECU. It's a PCR 2.1, but it's got completely different coding, and you can't change the coding on these. About that, incoming phone call. Right, so as you can see, you can't change the coding on it, even if we wanted to. But we know for an absolute fact it's not an injector and it's not a wiring fault. Okay, so this is why we use immo off ECUs. All right, so if you need one, just give me a call. I can order one. Try and give me exactly the same part number. I can order one, put an immo off on it, send it to you as a test unit, so you can try it out. Okay, thank you for watching.